This afternoon, you're listening to the Todd Laborwit Show, Real Estate Radio and Salem Broadcast Network, WRC 1260 AM. I'm your host, Todd Laborwit, and this segment is brought to you by Snow Goose Homes, our preferred partners that will buy your house for cash and have money in your bank account within as little as 5 business days. And in the studio with me now is William, a.k.a. Will Ferguson. He is a senior business advisor over at the W Commercial Group, and he basically specializes in strip centers, shopping centers, town centers, and Class B spaces, mostly retail. If you're looking to buy a business, he's got the businesses for you. Also, if you're looking to find space, he's the guy to go to. Welcome to the studio, Will.
Thanks, Todd. I appreciate it.
And love having you here because got some tough questions for you. But before we get into that, let's learn a little bit more about you.
Okay, what do you want to know?
Well, you're a singer.
Yes, I am.
And you are in a hot band. It's called Encore.
Encore, yes, indeed. Mid-Atlantic proud.
Perfect. And you guys are having you're playing at the Horseshoe Casino on New Year's Eve.
On New Year's Eve, a new casino, a new act. It should be a lot of fun.
And you guys are going to sell out a lot of tickets. You have a lot of followers.
Well, I think the casino is going to do quite well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a great location.
Yes, it is. Free parking, by the way.
Oh, yeah. That's where I park when I go to the Ravens game.
Oh, you weren't supposed to say that.
Why?
No, I'm teasing. They don't have a problem with that. I think.
No, they have.
We don't want the secret to get out, though.
Oh, no. It's a paid parking.
Okay.
For the game. Yeah. But let's move into the shopping centers because I've heard from family members. Mm-hmm. They say, look, I invest in this shopping center, and about 15 years later, the person that runs the pool basically refinances it, gives them back the money that they invested initially into the shopping center, and then they get a residual check each month, and no one can sell their shares, but it goes to their family and their heirs and so forth. And everyone's talking. Is it a guaranteed like win-win investment for people, or is there hot shopping centers and there's weak shopping centers?
Well, you have to follow the development trends. So there's 3 major components you're looking at. You're looking at what's your purchase price. You're looking at how many partners or shareholders you have. If you're doing it as a public entity, you're going to have shareholders. If you're doing it as a private person, you're going to have just yourself. And then you have to look at the actual management of the property. Because as you know, if the property isn't managed correctly, you're going to have loss of rent. You're going to have a trending down of the rents. You're going to have a property that's not looking up to code. You're just going to have issues that make the building less attractive. Curb appeal is important in commercial real estate as it is in residential real estate.
Now, you mentioned a key factor. It's how it's properly managed. Mm-hmm. Does someone that goes in to invest, like let's say I put it together with you and I get this shopping center and I have like 15, 20, 30 people, how many people we need. Okay. And it's all broken up and we are trying to have it managed. I don't know anything about managing a shopping center.
Right. I have several companies, including ourselves, that we do property management. And really the property management relationship is one that has to be, hands-on and transparent. You can't have someone managing the property and they're not reporting to you on a monthly basis what your rent rolls are, when the money went in the bank, all the details of what happens with your property. It's if you were there. They're your eyes and ears.
Now let's talk about the other end as far as like who's in these shopping centers, because I remember, and I'm just pulling bits of information. I'm not an expert in this.
That's okay.
But it is real estate. I remember going to Vegas, and there's every May there's a big conference,
right?
With all commercial real estate people. And a guy I remember talking that would hang out with all of us, and he would say, "Yeah, I fly out here." He represents his family. He makes a deal with Starbucks. He makes a deal with Dunkin' Donuts. They're their anchors. Right. And then he is free to do whatever he wants for the rest of the weekend. And those people are going into a shopping center that wherever he's building around the country, mm-hmm. and that was their living.
Well, in the commercial real estate space, specifically retail, there's several different I call it sidebars or subsections. So there are people that specialize in the big box stores, like the CVS and the Walmarts, and there are people that specialize with relationships with the franchisors. So you're going to have the pizza places, the coffee places, the Aldis. You're going to have those type of people that represent them, and they go to these big conferences because they want to make connections. They want to find out where the industry is trending, and they want to be where the development is. So a lot of times these franchisors are doing all of the research, but they need somebody local to make it happen.
And that's where you come in.
Absolutely.
So you work all these pieces.
I do. I'm a mediator, actually. I do the research, I meet with the right people, and I put the pieces together.
Wonderful. And then as far as the units, are you talking about someone that has a successful shopping center and you're helping sell those and you're helping put people together? Or are you taking, hey, this is a cool piece of land, we should totally put a shopping center up? Explain it to me.
Well, most of the things that we are doing have to do with existing properties and developments.
Okay.
So we're not so much taking raw land, although we do that, and we partner with other companies that do the development or spend more of their time in development. What we're working with primarily are existing properties and spaces and moving them around, existing businesses that need to sell either because the people are retiring or they've developed a new business interest and they want out or they want some passive income. We're working with those type of scenarios. Our typical range client will have a business that may generate $500,000 in revenue to about $8 million in revenue.
Okay. Well, I have more questions on that. Mm-hmm. But by the way, if you're just tuning in, I have with me William Ferguson, a.k.a. Will. And I'm your host, Todd Laborwit, and you're listening to Sound Broadcast Network, WRC 1260 AM. Now, if I have a profitable shopping center, why am I going to want to sell it?
Well, you may want to sell it because, A, you fully depreciated it. All right, and you may want to sell it because you're deciding to invest your money someplace else. You may do a 1031 exchange. You want the cash flow, and you may sell it because you want to divide the money up into some type of trust or give it to your family members. So there's a lot of reasons to sell, but if it's profitable and things are running well, and you're young enough to enjoy all of that, then there's no reason to sell.
Now, if I'm looking to buy a shopping center,
right?
What am I looking for so I don't get burned?
That's a great question, and I would start with the most important thing is you're looking for someone who's going to give you the information in as transparent a way as possible. So if someone says they're working on your behalf, well, they should be able to show you that. And so that's the first piece. The second piece is understanding the zoning for the building, understanding the county or the city that the building is in, and any proposed changes in the master plan. And then the third piece is knowing the tenant's history. What's their pay history? How long have they been there? Have they paid their escalator clauses in their lease? All of that. Those are probably the most important things.
Wow. And tell me a little bit about how did you get into this business?
Well, first of all, I've always been entrepreneurial. Everything from the newspaper route to when I got out of college. My first home was a 2-apartment home. And when I got out of college, I'm an old dude, but when I got out of college, interest rates were like 13, 14%. So I could never afford a standalone home. So I went out and got an apartment. And then I got the bug, and so I ended up buying in Baltimore 3 and 4 apartment buildings. And that was something I enjoyed and I did on the weekend instead of playing golf and other recreational type things. So it's always been there. But then I met this guy about 7 years ago. He's a Korean gentleman, happens to be my principal broker, speaks 3 languages, and he's been doing this for 26 years. So I met him, we started to talk, and the relationship developed to the point where I decided this is what I wanted to do as a primary, occupation.
Do you guys play Monopoly with each other?
No.
It's like a real life Monopoly.
I know, no.
Wow, I've known you for a long time, but
right.
It's like, wow, this is like a whole nother Will. I know you on the other side with the band.
Right.
So it's, like you have investors, you have people so right now you have a lot of people that are buying businesses. Or you're looking for people that are buying
That's
businesses.
Correct.
Now, with the economy as it is, and you would think people are trying to get out from underneath their issues.
Mm-hmm.
What are you seeing that's out there that businesses are for sale that you're trying to find buyers for, that someone can feel that they have a peace of mind going into this? Like, who wants to go into an investment right now?
Right. Well, I think here's the most important thing when you look at businesses, especially the ones that we go after. We're going to do the due diligence. So we're going to have several years of sales reports and or tax returns. we're going to know the ins and outs of that business before we present it to you. And I think that's going to save you a lot of time and grief. The second thing is we're talking about profitable businesses that are paying more than a working salary. Let's call that $80,000 to $100,000. We're talking about businesses that are netting you a good living, maybe $200,000 to $400,000. So we're talking about that type of a business. You're buying an income stream. And then the third thing is, when you look at businesses that, especially retail businesses that are out there today, you want a retail business with a regional footprint. And if we can help a buyer do that, we're excited to do that.
Perfect. Well, what I'd like to offer you, our listeners, is the opportunity to get in touch with Will directly. If you're looking to buy a business, he's got a ton of them for you. He can go over this with a free consultation.
Absolutely.
Also, if you're finding space to lease in the retail center, whether it's a strip center, shopping center, town centers, or Class B space, we can get you in touch with Will directly. Just call or text me at 301-467-8444. That number again is 301-467-8444. Will, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Todd.